Hi, my name is Survi Chandak.
I'm Pranjal Tani.
I'm Riddhi Sagar.
I'm Neha Patel.
I'm Eden Rojas.
And I'm Chantal Zito.
And our HOSA Emotional Well-Being Challenge is on the topic of digital dopamine deficiency.
Before we proceed, we request that you scan the QR code on the screen. This will guide you to a pre-test Google form that will test your knowledge on this topic before we continue.
According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, kids aged 8 through 18 now spend, on average, a whopping 7.5 hours in front of a screen for entertainment each day, 4.5 of which are spent watching TV. Over a year, that adds up to 114 full days wasted watching a screen for fun. And that's just the time they spend in front of a screen for entertainment. It doesn't include the time they spend at the computer at home for educational purposes or at home for homework.
So for some context, 90% of US adults own a smartphone or mobile device, and 15% of US adults claim to have smartphone dependency, which is where adults feel as if they can't leave their phone without not being able to do any daily tasks. About 54% of US teens also find it a hard time to give up social media. For some more statistics on social media addiction, about 31% of US adults and adults under 30 are constantly online throughout their day. And 44% of US teens often check messages as soon as they wake up. Overall, 78.2% of phone users feel uneasy when leaving their phone at home, which adds to the point of smartphone dependency being on a rise today.
Dopamine dependency can be defined as a reliance on frequent dopamine stimulation for motivation, often leading to reduced natural dopamine production and addictive behaviors. This becomes a problem because teens can become extremely dependent on their screens as sources of happiness. Common activities include things like social media, video games, and online gambling.
Next, we will be talking about the affected audience. Dopamine dependency affects a wide population, ranging from teenagers to adults. In our everyday lives, the usage of social media apps such as YouTube and Instagram has become a routine. As of 2024, Instagram had over 2 billion users worldwide. Furthermore, according to a study done by the University of Michigan, approximately 210 million people are addicted to social media. Therefore, digital dopamine dependency is a prevalent topic that affects all of us, making it crucial to bring awareness to it.
Why are people dopamine dependent? Digital platforms, especially social media, are designed to exploit the brain's reward system. This process typically follows four key stages. First, the trigger. Engagement with digital content, such as receiving a notification or scrolling through social media, serves as a stimulus. Second, dopamine release. In response to the stimulus, the brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure, reward, and motivation. Third, reinforcement. The brain begins to link the digital behavior, such as checking social media, with pleasurable outcomes, reinforcing the action and increasing the likelihood of repetition. Fourth, craving independence. With repeated exposure, the brain may become desensitized to dopamine, requiring more frequent or intense digital stimulation to achieve the same effect. This can lead to compulsive behavior patterns, reduced impulse control, and psychological dependency. Why did we choose this topic? We chose to do this project because our generation is the most impacted by digital dopamine dependency. Social media is everywhere in our lives, and while it helps us connect, it also changes how we interact with others and can make real relationships feel less meaningful. Overusing social media can actually lead to feelings of loneliness, even though we're always connected. On top of that, constant digital distractions make it harder for students like us to focus, study, and remember what we learn, which affects our education and our mental health.
How is this project beneficial to each member of the team if they become a health professional? I think that educating as many teens as possible about the dangers and side effects of dopamine dependency is becoming increasingly more important as there's more access to social media and screens. Being educated about this topic would be helpful to me as a health professional if I were treating the younger generation and warning or helping them cope through different life experiences.
This project allows me to understand how new health concerns arise with changes in technology, like the increase in social media, and what we can do to stay updated as health professionals.
This project allows me to understand how digital habits affect mental health, helping me as a future doctor to stay informed on emerging issues and provide better care to patients in a tech-driven world.
The topic of digital dopamine dependency showed me the relationship between social media and my personal life. And I think that it's important as a healthcare professional to highlight and understand how the digital age is affecting our development.
This project has helped me recognize how technology is transforming mental health care and why it's essential for future health professionals to stay updated on tools that can support patient well-being.
This project allows for me to develop an understanding of how social media can affect our mental health and how we can both identify and mitigate these harmful effects.
Now, let's get into the health impacts. First, dopamine imbalance disrupts mood regulation, causing emotional instability and reduced pleasure, which can then lead to anxiety and depression. Altered reward systems reinforce addictive behaviors, contributing to addiction. Chronic dopamine issues may impair retinal function and visual processing in the brain, which can lead to vision issues. And disrupted dopamine signaling affects attention, memory, and decision making, leading to cognitive impairment.
As previously mentioned, technology has become increasingly prominent in our lives, along with social media. As of 2023, 59.9% of the global population had some form of social media, culminating in about 4.8 billion people worldwide, according to the University of Maine. Along with this, social media algorithms curate media to the individual, acting as a modern contributor to dopamine deficiencies. And newer social medias promote shorter content lengths, increasing the amount of dopamine received in very small intervals of time.
So, what can you do to help? The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, also known as SAMHSA, provides a report on healthy social media habits for children and adults in the KOHS report. To manage your own digital dopamine dependency, you can set time limits on certain apps or devices and have others hold you accountable for it through screen time passwords. Reducing screen time can be difficult at first, so it can be useful to find a new hobby to take your mind off your social media and keep your brain occupied. We now ask that you scan the QR code on the screen, and this will guide you to a post test that will test your knowledge on the information that we have presented.
Our way of increasing our outreach to our affected audience was through social media. We created an Instagram account at Digital Dopamine with insightful posts and reminders on how to disconnect from social media.
While it seems counterintuitive to educate about the consequences of social media on a media platform, it's the most effective method of reaching our target audience. As seen in our insights, we received over 1,500 interactions with our posts and stories, showing how broad of an audience we were able to target with this method.
These are all of our references, and thank you for listening.